All right. Welcome to the Rough Report Live. It is once again Thursday, the day we do this. And, Nat just got here. Riley, there she is.
I'm late from home.
You had to get all dolled up first. You got the
These are
fancy
pajamas
today.
I have pajamas.
Fancy pajamas.
Yeah, I just have very fancy pajamas.
All right. So, welcome to the show. We are joined once again by Sean and, of course, always co-host Jessica and Nat. And we got a few things on the docket. We had a bit of a trickle over from last week's episode because we wanted to get a bit more into Carney's AI strategy, but that kind of got us talking about like just fake AI influencers and stuff like that. So that kind of connects directly to this. This story came by a month ago. This video dropped, but it's weird that I've seen hardly anyone in Canadian media really talking about this outside of just this video existing. From CBC News here. I gotta pull up the screen. Entire screen. Yes. Share. There we go. So exposing fake Canadians pushing to join the U.S. So what's going on there?
Join our country, become the 51st state.
People are seriously underestimating how big this is.
Watching these videos, you might think these Canadians want to join the U.S.
Western provinces moving towards a U.S.-aligned path has left Canada stunned.
But what if I told you most of these people aren't even really Canadian?
I'm shocked, I tell you. I am shocked. I'm the pearls I am clutching. My goodness, no one saw this coming.
Follow the digital clues to expose a web of hired actors and the people behind them.
How do you get my number?
To reveal a shadowy business model.
That's pretty funny.
Because whoever you think is behind it, the answer is going to surprise you.
I feel so violated. I think all of it's bullshit.
Maybe it won't.
It's not.
Doesn't know what's going on in Canada. Alberta is a province that produces most of the country's crude oil, millions of barrels a day. This means Alberta pays a lot of money into the national budget, creating tensions that have led some Albertans to want to break away.
Independence is a matter of survival for Albertans. We have to get out from underneath Ottawa if we're going to prosper and move forward as a country.
And the Trump administration likes the...
See, now when he says country, what is he meaning there? Alberta as a country, or
Also, was that just an AI version of Dave Rubin's set? Isn't that the set that Dave Rubin uses on his podcast?
I mean, they could be renting the same
similar.
studio space. Maybe it's one of those
Rents it
things.
by the hour.
Yeah.
Dave Rubin's not doing great. He's renting out the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. Did you see his video?
The Jubilee.
Yes.
Yeah. As much as I have this love-hate thing for those Jubilees, because like they're so entertaining in a way, but also like, why are we doing this at the same
It's
time?
reality TV. Yeah, that's what it is. Like,
You
to me,
see,
it's
Dave blamed him getting his ass kicked on he felt unsafe because of all the leftists.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh man, so pathetic.
That's fucking
We
great.
should dive into that next week.
Yeah.
Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S. Rumored that they may have a referendum on whether they want to stay in Canada or not.
So it's a real thing, and that might be why the sentiment is being exploited online. A report from the Media Ecosystem Observatory highlighted what it calls slopaganda, 20 YouTube channels that contain frequent and obvious lies and are designed to exploit political divisions.
We looked at 20 specific and authentic channels that are coordinated together, and amongst them, they got 40 million views in the past 12 months. The video network itself is very deceptive. They use the same scripts, the same phrasing, the same titles.
This channel is built on freedom of expression. All content is created for informational and educational purposes.
They just plainly fabricate statistics such as polls.
And again, I have to like kind of emphasize the projection that you always get from conservatives when it comes to this. Like once a conservative starts making a serious accusation against anyone, it almost becomes automatically self-evident that they're doing the exact thing.
Yeah.
Because they love to talk about paid protesters. They love to talk about dark money and the deep state and all this stuff. They're quite obviously doing literally that. Yeah.
I just want to say, you can tell how great capitalism is doing now that we add the word slop to everything. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, like, well, before the going term was shitification, but I guess slopification is just as good, if not more apt.
Separatism, annexation, taking advantage of real grievances Albertans have to drive clicks, engagement to the channel.
But we wanted to find out who's actually behind these channels.
So we go down the rabbit hole and find the truth about some of these accounts.
Our first clue was the X accounts linked to these YouTube channels. 2 of them were created while connected to the Netherlands App Store, pretty far from Alberta. We zeroed in on this account, Canadian Politician.
Hello and welcome to the Canadian Politician, your trusted source for sharp analysis and updates on the latest developments in Canadian politics.
We reverse image search and find James is really Matt Berry,
my AI cousin.
Media
oh, unfortunate that that's his name.
I know.
Yeah.
Our beloved Matt Berry.
Our beloved, yeah.
I was just kind of applying it for a bunch of different gigs. The idea was that was like $20 a video to start, and then he was gonna like monetize. So what happened was I sent this audition video, but we never came to any actual agreement. I never actually like signed a contract.
What are you thinking when?
So he was already willing to do something sketchy where I will take this money, I will be this paid actor.
$20.
$20
for $20.
$20.
Like these guys are willing to do and say anything.
Oh yeah, fuck that. I'll take a sandwich at Tim's.
Yeah. It's like the most desperate type of like actor, you know, like just anything to not have a real job, basically.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, that, like I think one of the things that we've been kind of fooled about is thinking that in order to bribe someone, you need to come in with like suitcases full of money. But what we've seen in reality is you can bribe people for very little.
Very little. Because a lot of the time, yeah, like again, anything to avoid doing like work that, you know, when I say real work, I mean the work that they kind of probably feel like is beneath them. Like I'm not working at a coffee shop. I can't be a barista. I can't work at Walmart or do retail or like just anything to avoid that type of job so they can feel like they have like a bit of status in society. It's kind of like hearkening to I forget when I originally saw this, but it's been talked about a lot over the years, where like if you asked like boomers, Gen X, and even to a large extent millennials what their like absolute dream job would be, or if they were rich and famous, what would they like to be rich and famous for? And a lot of the time the answer would be like movie star. That was like always number one. Movie star was the pinnacle. And now, like amongst you know, Gen Alpha Zoomers, it's influencer. That is the number one tangible thing to be. So yeah, there's definitely a sense of status attached to it. But yeah, this fucking schmuck willing to get in front of a camera and say any egregious bullshit for $20, and even then he still got taken advantage of because all they did was took his audition.
And he's willing to admit that on CBC for free.
Yeah,
I know. He could have $200. Like, just lie at that point. Like, be better.
Just make it like a pair of sneakers, man. Like $20 for real.
We reveal this to you.
My heart sank. You must be talking about the wrong person. This is not stuff I believe.
He shares a Google Doc with information about the job. It's owned by someone who used an email address that includes the name Don Jurgers.
Using DarkSide, a tool for searching.
Don Jurgers? Yeah, it sounds pretty Norwegian.
Databases leaked online.
We connect that email to social media accounts for a Don Jurgers in the Netherlands, who works as a sports journalist. So we call him.
Don? Yes, with who am I speaking?
Yeah, my name is Eric Cito. I'm a journalist at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I just want to make sure we're with the right person here. You are the same person that has been contracting people to make YouTube videos. Is it the right Don?
Yes.
Oh.
How do you get my number?
Oh, it's done online.
You know, things are starting off great when they're like, how did you get my number?
That's my mistake.
Oh, it's okay. Well, I want to just learn about the contracts with YouTube channels and stuff and just kind of get an understanding how it works, if you have a second.
Yeah, let's just contact through another way, because it's Yeah, kind of weird that you're calling me out of the blue.
Why is it odd?
Well, isn't that how most phone calls happen? Oh, well, maybe not these days. Maybe there's a bunch of text messages and emails that are like, "Is it okay if I call you?" Maybe that's what he's referring to.
But if you're running a business,
yeah, people just like your phone rings, right? Like, isn't that what you want?
Denies any involvement, saying what he said on the phone was a misunderstanding. But that's not the only connection we make to people in the Netherlands. This is a channel called Canadian Hub, hosted by someone named Paul.
Hello there. My name is Paul, your reliable reporter for in-depth analysis and...
They usually don't like. I've never felt the need at any point on this show or any of the posts that I make politically speaking. I never feel the need to call myself reliable. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the reliability is self-evident in the facts that I am saying, right? Yeah. Like if you were to fact check me, nothing's going to come up. I don't need to tell you that.
And if it is wrong, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah. I don't say not say I'm reliable because I'm like, oh, that would be a lie.
I think people who support Alberta separatism need a lot of clear exposition in their media.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They always need to judge that stuff up. Like you always notice it with MAGA or even pre-MAGA. A lot of these like right-wing accounts would like always like every time in the bio it would be like truth teller. You know, they'd always call themselves
his TikTok account and learn he's a voice actor.
Hey, I'm going live here in just a minute. Check it out.
Then we use the sign at the back of this video that says Rush Memorial Hospital and geolocate him to the U.S.
Well, that's not Canadian. You think the Rush Memorial Hospital would be?
Yeah, you would think. That's definitely in Southern Ontario.
The Prague Rock Memorial Hospital, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also Rush Limbaugh, so...
yeah.
Canadians don't have the...
He paid me $60 for. But right now, I'm pretty much thinking I'm not going to do any more of these because I don't want to be a part of that. I'm in Indiana. I don't know anything about Canadian politics.
Was there any indication that...
like the lack of scruples. I like how they're being just so transparent about it, but like, did they not hear themselves? Did they not think about it first? Like, well, I don't agree with any of this, and I'm not even Canadian, and I'm being a total hack poser and putting my face on it.
Yeah.
For $60. And then once somebody's questioning you on it, you're like, well, you know, I kind of thought to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, what?
Well, it's
after I've done it.
After you've done it. Yeah.
Like if it was like, oh, I'm doing this movie about this, we need a scene of a couple influencers to put in the movie. It's like, okay, say whatever.
Yeah.
That's not what is happening.
That doesn't seem to be the case. That seems to be like they kind of know what the gig is, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder if the other guy, like, if he watched this and was like, "Wait, $60?"
Well, you guys are getting paid?
That's very possible.
He sends us chats with someone who goes by Marijn Masseus on Discord. We match that name and a profile photo to a man in the Netherlands named Marijn Masseus. He calls himself a digital creator.
Well, fucking everybody calls themselves
Contact
that.
Marijn over email, and he also denies any involvement. But there's one more person we find connected to the scheme. Not only does he admit it, he leads us into the murky world of faceless YouTube.
In this video series, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a profitable, scalable, and fully automated YouTube business in just 90 days without ever showing your face on camera.
That's Niels Vanderland. He runs the online course Faceless Education, which promises to teach people how to make thousands of dollars every month with faceless YouTube videos. It's big business. There are hundreds.
How? Oh, okay. Like I, you know, when I watched this video earlier, I did not get to this part. So now I'm like, I'm really fascinated by this now. I'm like, wait.
This is actually really interesting because I do some voice acting, right? So like I see all the auditions and everything like that. And there has been an uptick in people looking for voice actors for YouTube series for like sci-fi movies or whatever it is, but you get like a flat rate per video kind of thing. And now I'm seeing
maybe they have you saying some dystopian thing.
Yeah, they're like one script a week, you know, like and this is how much you get. It's making sense. Interesting. I'm gonna have to bring this to Discord now.
Thousands of courses and guides online, all promising the same thing: making money with video videos that you don't have to appear in using actors or AI. And we find that two people behind these channels took the same course, hosted by Niels. It starts with Bart Craning, another American actor, hired to be
He looks like a stand-up guy.
Be the face of a channel called David Fraser YT.
For years,
I think he looks great.
Yeah, exactly. You see, he's got a certain vibe to some. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Handsome looking guy. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Suddenly, that same system is saying something.
He looks like a
different.
slightly more Irish version of me.
Now they
Slightly.
need appreciation.
We know he's the actor behind it because he reveals it on his Snapchat.
You guys go. You can see what YouTube pays.
How many videos?
Are you fucking kidding me?
$14,000.
What am I doing here?
What the hell?
What are any of us doing?
What
So
the?
send me 2 more for tomorrow, which would be episodes 232 and 233.
So 230 videos you've done.
We put out video after video about separation. Why are 9 out of our 10 videos on the main page about Canadian separation? That was what I brought up to them. How many channels do you guys actually run? That's when I texted you back. They said, we are not a part of misinformation campaign. At the moment, we have 12 channels running.
He shared his chats with a Discord channel called MJY Trading, who signs off as Joop Licker.
We find that Joop is the CEO of MJY Trading, a Dutch company. He describes its business model as faceless YouTube videos.
It's weird to me that like somebody would just call themselves that. Yeah, my business model is faceless YouTube channels. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm a cool guy.
We find this review that Joop made for Neil's faceless education course. He says he went from making no money to living off his YouTube income. That leads us to the Faceless Education YouTube channel. And guess who we find?
Ik ben Joep, ik ben 25 jaar oud. Het is wel echt levensveranderend geweest. Dus, want uiteindelijk heb ik daar ook mijn baan kunnen opzeggen bij KPMG.
When we reach out to Joop, he tells
Oh my God. So just being...
what if we just start a left-wing version of this?
Yeah, like just the oh my God, the pride in being a grifter. I feel like it's not even influencer anymore. It's like, when I grow up, I want to be a grifter.
It's fine. I don't mind profit sharing with the voice actors. You know what I mean?
He's like, yeah, I dissolved the Canadian Federation. It was great.
Yes, they are not affiliated with political movements, advocacy groups, or campaigns related to independence, and that the YouTube channels are focused on generating revenue. Now we've connected the faceless education.
I mean, there might be some truth to that. There may not be like some political dark money behind this guy, right? It might just be purely for the fact that it's antagonizing and gets views.
It's just bad incentives. It's not even it's just bad incentives.
There are no good incentives in any of this anywhere. Yeah. Like whether it's like paid by dark money or not, they're just like, no, the hate and rage is good. Yeah.
I know it's tempting to be like, this is the CIA. It was $20, man. It was $20.
I know that. Like I hear those CIA stories where they're like, for getting like access to information from some guy, they like made him a billionaire through some like means. They're like, yeah, we have infinite amounts of money. We'll give you whatever you need to get the information we want. And $20. $20.
I bet the CIA can't believe how chill their job is now. Can't believe it.
Oh God, it's got to be easier than ever. Like all that long-term propaganda they hammered into people is like an automated system now.
Channel promoting Alberta separatism. Joop isn't the only person we find that took this course. We also find Marijn Massoes.
Ik ben Marijn. Ik ben 21 jaar oud. Ik studeer nog ondernemerschap en retail management.
They're in it to make a quick buck. There's no indication that governments are interested in regulating that kind of activity at all. But the question is what happens when the proponents actually don't have any skin in the game whatsoever. A person who's sitting in the Netherlands developing these videos that are trying to promote Alberta leaving Canada has no personal stake in whether the separatists succeed or fail. And that can make them really dangerous actors.
People are seeing these videos.
Can we get some guys in this video that don't look like me? Every guy in this video. It's literally every guy.
I knew it. All of them are you.
I was just about to say, why do all white guys look the same?
What the hell, man? There's like one 9-foot tall Dutch guy and then 5 of me.
from real people. It's shocking, but it's not surprising. I think that's like sort of a world we're living in right now.
So for now, at least, it looks like that's the answer. Not Russia, not China or the US, but YouTubers trying to make money. If there's anything you want us to investigate, email us at vi@cbc.
That is so crazy. Yeah, like kind of what we were just saying, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be any dark money coming from anywhere. Just baiting the rage is profitable within itself. Crazy. But that kind of like, that leads into AI influencers, which is becoming more and more of a thing. Luckily, I don't see much of that myself, but I do kind of get it like secondhand from other people that they're seeing a lot more of that. But kind of precedent setting now along that vein is we now have
you don't even just have to worry about bots. You have to worry about people like acting like bots.
Well, and yeah, like people, yeah, exactly. They're like, no, my content won't be seen unless I'm more robotic and like use a bunch of filters that make me look like an AI.
Then they're just they're all just trolling.
Yeah, I played around with that the other day. I did a video where I like used like the skin smoothing filter on it, and it was just like, oh god, I look worse. It's just
honestly,
weird.
I hate those filters. Yeah,
it's gross.
I'm 45, and when I use those filters, I feel like I'm 85 trying to look.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
sure.
So I'm gonna put this up, and I'm not gonna give any further context. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet.
I have.
Yeah, you probably know exactly what this is. I wouldn't be surprised if all of you have seen this at this point, but I am going to provide no further context to what you're about to see.
Some breaking economic news this morning. Real GDP has declined for a second consecutive quarter, meaning the definition of a technical recession.
Well, look, the technical definition of a technical recession is just that. It's 2 quarters of flat or negative growth.
We haven't eaten today.
Yeah, we're only technically hungry, though. I got laid off today.
Don't worry, Daddy. You're only technically unemployed.
We have to repossess your home because you can't pay your mortgage.
Honey, we're homeless.
Only technically homeless.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's new on me.
Okay, they could have paid someone $20 to act in that using AI. Come on.
Jimmy, I thought it was the other thing that we had talked about.
I think the
and the economy, sir.
So that is a conservative ad, paid for, I believe, by the Conservative Party. Yeah, this was posted by the Conservative Party official page, blending actual news footage with AI. And that's where we're at now. Now, like, obviously, like parts of this are AI, but when I say obvious AI, there's always going to be a bunch of people who don't think it's that obvious.
Yeah.
But
it's
everyone
written
knows
in that small corner, okay?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna
Yeah.
take this, they're gonna crop it,
Yeah.
and then repost.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, first of all, it's pretty obvious that nobody working in the conservative inner circle has any idea what a food bank looks like.
I was going to say,
and
this is
operates
the
like.
largest
That
food
is a
bank I've
monstrous
ever
food
seen,
bank.
yeah.
Like, they really think, like, those devious liberals, they're giving away so much food, but also people getting food is bad. It's kind of a jumbled mess of ideology here. But like,
I also I like that. I was just exactly.
that
yeah.
and food pickup and secretary.
Yeah, nice.
What's that logo? Like, is that a lady, an eggplant? Like, what is that?
I feel like it's a part of Trillium, but then broken.
Yeah, like it looks like a burrito that's been squeezed, and some of the stuff is coming out the top of it,
which you get from the food bank.
Yeah,
Come on, people,
the
catch
hot
up.
burritos at the food bank that everybody knows about, and yeah, like and also like. I'm surprised that they were even this transparent about it, but the whole thing about him saying technical recession, it's when he was head of the British National Bank in 2016, and he's talking about England.
Again, they're just gonna crop it. It's
like,
fine.
Like he is obviously, I don't know. Again, I say obviously, but this is probably not obvious to a lot of people. He is 10 years younger looking. Right? Like he is not as he is noticeably younger than he is today. And then this thing from 2016, so completely out of context news clips, and then combined with that, and and like what always gets me about the conservative attack ads is every time they're attacking the liberals or anybody about anything, it's about stuff that they would be more than happy to do. Like, do you think any of them give a shit about grocery store prices? Like, look what happened with Trump. The Trump campaigned on getting fucking cheap eggs. You know, how cheap are the eggs now, guys? How cheap are the eggs now? You know?
How cheap is the beef with screwworms entering?
Oh,
the
yeah.
mouth?
Yeah. Are we pretending really that the conservatives care about you ending up on the street for real?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Some people do.
I like to note that since 2021, the homeless population of Ontario under a Doug Ford majority, conservative majority, has risen by 50%. That is an insane number. Insane. But yeah, you know, here we are.
It's almost like we're in a housing crisis.
Yeah, like how willing these
No, we're not.
conservatives are to
I've
just
seen houses on my street. So
you're
You're right. I take it back.
Yeah. There. I see houses everywhere.
I think we're in a house right now.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it's winter. So much for global warming. Am I right? So yeah, like I don't know how like even conservative Canadians aren't insulted by this stuff, because it's like, you know, even like really, you expect us to believe this shit? You expect us to accept this shit? This is the standard of politics that we're going to engage in. Like, do you feel dignified? Do you feel good about yourselves? I don't know.
Also, like the conservative answer to this would be deregulate and lower corporate tax, which is
Yeah.
exactly what Mark Carney is doing. So
yeah, exactly. So it's like it must be, you know, it must be so hard for this conservative opposition to come up with things to oppose.
Yeah. Because they're basically like, shit, he's taken our playbook and he's doing all of our stuff.
Yeah,
Stop it.
exactly.
What are we doing?
Was it one thing Nat and I were talking about the other day, because I did not know this until I had just read about it the other day, but I was kind of reading up on the history of Hydro One, because it's like, you know, everybody, conservatives included, note that Kathleen Wynne's selling of those Hydro One shares was her death knell, and a mistake, a horrible thing to do, blah, 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 blah. When the conservative government in the 1980s established Hydro One as a like Ontario-owned corporation, the plan was quite explicitly, they pitched the plan this way: the ultimate goal is privatization.
Yeah.
They were quite explicit about this. So somehow we, you know, everybody, by the time, what was it, 2015, 2016 rolled around, when that sale actually happened, had some sort of collective amnesia about this, that suddenly, no, this wasn't part of the plan. Why would we do this? This is going to be such a loss of revenue for the province. And it's like, no, this is literally what the conservatives has always wanted. And they still pitched it as a mistake that Kathleen Wynne made, and now here we are years later, still under Doug Ford.
I would argue that the collective amnesia of the Canadian public is actually a fundamental pillar of our society.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like how things work here.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, hello, Harris, Walkerton, maybe don't get rid of like regulations that keep people safe and protect our water.
Yeah.
No, we forgot about that. Let's keep
What was
voting in.
the I can't remember what was the whole thing? It was spreading a disease, wasn't it? The water in Walkerton.
Coli?
Yeah.
yeah,
It was like it
pretty
was
sure it was
literally
coli.
making people sick because
like,
they lifted regulations on the
Water
water
testing.
supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what is it? This looks like a lot more sterile and not fun. But Prime Minister Carney launches AI for All, Canada's new national artificial intelligence strategy. Now, this he's been making a lot of big plans, making these big moves. Must be nice now that he's kind of backhandedly secured that majority, right? So, yeah, this came out June 4th, so just the beginning of this a week ago. And then now, a week later, we have this new plan announcement that we're going to go over. And the world is changing rapidly. Has there been a point in the past 100 years where you couldn't say that? I feel like it's kind of like redundant. It's changing so rapidly.
Ever since we put steam inside of an engine, it's been
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The world is changing rapidly with intensifying economic competition. Maybe that's kind of the problem of the economic system we're running, guys, but whatever. Anyway, accelerating technological change in a global race to secure the talent, infrastructure, and innovation that will define the future. Artificial intelligence is at the center of that transformation. I have a prediction. No, it's fucking not.
Yeah.
How about that? We don't have to be doing this. We don't have to be doing this. This is purely optional. And we want to pretend that it's going to be this next glorious wave because it's going to be, if it somehow all goes through and works and it doesn't end in a bubble pop or an absolute disaster of one form or another.
I don't see how it doesn't, but
it's hard to believe that it doesn't. But even if that all somehow works out, there's a very one-sided economic benefit to it, and it's not us. It's fucking not us. And of course, when the bubble pops and all that infrastructure is useless or just damaging, who's going to fit the bill fucking anyway, right?
Speaking of
and
projection,
this strategy kind of lays it out.
And by the way, just on that point on who this actually benefits, I have a very wealthy friend, and he forwarded me his wealth manager's analysis of what AI is going to mean. And it literally, in the first sentence, it says that the entirety of the benefit of this is going to go to owners of capital. So this is what the bourgeoisie say to each other, and Mark Carney knows that. So all this stuff about 250,000 new jobs, total. We know it's nonsense.
It's horseshit.
Of course it is. But just to
in
be clear,
real
among
world,
themselves, they're openly communicating about how that's nonsense.
Oh yeah. Like what is it? I've seen posts from people talking about data centers that exist and are up and running, and people who work at them, and they're like, no, I work in like a giant data center. We got 20 people here tops.
Yeah,
and they're all security guards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So just a quick anecdote for someone who works in IT. The place I work at, I haven't been to the place that hosts our data yet because it is so hard to schedule a time when someone is there. Right? So it's like, there are some legitimate use cases for data centers, but not the kinds that they're trying to bring in. Yeah. And they're not going to suddenly start staffing them, right? Like, we're not going to have the, harken back to like the 80s of the secretary in the front typing away on like a computer and stuff. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be like a security guy, maybe two. So that one can take a lunch break, maybe. And then that's going to be like someone who goes in and runs maintenance on occasion. And so like they're going to be contracting out to like an MSP for when they need to do maintenance and upgrades and stuff. But in terms of like who's physically on site employed like full time, security.
Yeah.
Because even the
and
monitoring,
even then, you know, in good time, we might just have like turrets with motion sensors on them. And then there won't be security guards either.
Yeah.
They'll shoot like endangered animals as they fly above, like, you know, threat detected. You know,
AI really is going to be a disaster, though. I sent Jimmy two economists from the Wharton School of Business this week. They published a study that even like these Wharton School of Business, these are like the most liberal economists in the world. They were saying, if it continues the way it looks like it's going to continue, they don't see a version of the future in which this doesn't destroy the entire economy. And that's liberals. So, I don't know. Pretty cool.
I know. I keep thinking, like, I haven't. I was talking to Nat about this the other day. I was like, we should get into Dune. Like, that seems like some really prescient sci-fi.
Because we've already watched Idiocracy recently.
Yeah. And then like, and the more I kind of like learn about Dune lore just from people like posting about it, talking about it. There's a few Dune fans that I work with, so they're talking about it. There's this whole thing in it, the Butlerian Jihad, which is about this war between man and machine. Basically, man developed super-powered thinking computers so they could navigate space and do the whole like light folding thing and travel great distances in an instant. They were able to do this through super powerful supercomputers, but that eventually, you know, turned on them. And then the jihad happened where all the thinking machines were destroyed. And that's how everybody ended up, you know, taking the magic drug spice and became super intelligent, blah, 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 blah. But like in every kind of like story that we are familiar with in pop culture, there's even no version of AI in that where, no, this is good. And we're glad we did this.
I beg your pardon. Short Circuit.
Even then, I feel like that had some.
I know. Yeah.
You know, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but like, and just the way they even title this whole concept that Carney has here in his government. Today, Prime Minister Mark Carney launched AI for all. That sounds like threatening, right? Like it's like violence, pillaging, and murder for all. You know, like it's you're gonna fucking get it whether you like it or not, buddy.
No, AI very much could be for all. Not under this system.
No. Like, I'm sure anybody would agree. AI in certain aspects, or at least AI as we currently define it, in certain aspects, LLMs and things like that, could be very useful in, say, medical settings and things like that. There is a proposed use for it, but that's not what we're doing. You know, that's not the emphasis. That's not what all these data centers are for. They're not building giant data centers to cure cancer. Okay, like that's just not what they're
building
doing.
Giant data centers to cause cancer.
That is the more likely outcome, right?
It is explicitly to do to white collar labor what capital has always done to blue collar labor.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Now they get to replace, the slightly upscaled or like slightly upper class office workers.
Very slightly, yes. Increasingly slight.
Yeah. Actually, it's been like kind of a rude wake up call over my adult life to kind of find out what, you know, a construction worker makes versus, you know, an accountant or something like that. You'd be surprised at how similar or which way those numbers differ.
Functionally, especially the last 5-10 years, barely a difference.
Yeah, exactly. So over the next 5 years, the strategy will introduce new legislation, investments, and programs that ensure AI is adopted responsibly. That's like saying, you know, adopting capitalism responsibly. You know, like,
we're going to adopt these man-eating tigers and put them into this kindergarten class responsibly.
Yeah. We are the tigers will be continuously sedated unless the anesthesiologist calls in sick that day or is whatever.
Or we don't feel like it, or we want to save money on the anesthesia.
To me, this is just like a textbook crisis of overproduction. It's like exactly how that is
they
explained.
got themselves in such a corner.
It's exactly like textbook. That's exactly how it works.
Like a lot of what these governments are projecting in terms of like jobs and stuff like that are going to be temporary, like construction jobs. They're going to spend all this time, resource, building stuff that is probably not going to be useful for the long run. And just going to be a net loss. Like the AI for All strategy targets an additional 200 billion of economic growth to create 250,000 new AI related jobs over the next 5 years. Like, come on, guys. You got to know when you hear that is horseshit on multiple levels.
Yeah. Well, it's because normally what happens in a crisis of overproduction, obviously, is when you're investing capital, ideally, you would like to invest it in something that produces a consumer good.
Yeah.
But as the other part of capitalism depresses wages, there's fewer opportunities to do that, but capital must continue to grow. So you invest it in the means of production. But obviously that spirals out into now we have the ability to produce even more that we don't need. But at least in most crises of overproduction, you're investing in the means of production of something that may eventually be useful. In AI, they're investing more than has ever been invested in something that no one wants, doesn't currently make any money, and never will.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
and like most
bizarre.
of the time, the reason you're seeing so much AI slop in your feeds, as offensive and annoying as it is, the kind of good part of it, I guess, in a way, is the reason you see so much of it is it's there at a click of a button for free. And as soon as that is not the case anymore, people aren't going to care or like care about using it. You know, they're like, oh, that's something that's beyond me. That's something
I worry about that
to me.
because people are actively losing skills right now without AI. So I'm worried they're going to be dependent on it. And then once you get dependent on it, well, paying $5, $10, however many bucks a month for the basic subscription will be a necessity for you.
The only like positive thing I can see, like, no, never mind.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I think the worst part about this is, for starters, the 2020 cohorts of kids already had a tough time socially, you know, with all the lockdowns, not being exposed to stuff. Then on top of that, you know, there's all this social upheaval, economic uncertainty, and then we're going into AI to take away their ability to even learn when we're already removing so many supports from the education system. So if they're already having difficulties learning on their own, then they might just even be taught to take the easy way out to rely on AI. So these kids, they're like, at every opportunity that I've seen, they're getting the short end of the fucking stick.
And it's
like,
so fucking bad in school right now. So like I have a 16-year-old. So we have like a no AI, like we don't use it. He's not allowed to use it, that kind of thing. And at school, like it is an issue where a lot of the students are using AI for their work, but a lot of the teachers are using AI for their assignments.
I'm sorry?
For like working up assignments and stuff like that. There's been a problem where some teachers, I think one college professor in the US wrote an entire textbook and a student had to call her out on it using AI. So they're being taught by people
where we're at already.
Using AI.
Wild.
Yeah. And so like
nice.
And like a lot of the AI things, like you run your paper through, like they're not keeping up with current AI, so they're not less able to detect it. So it's just running. It's a mess.
I starting in January, I'm actually going to be teaching a couple courses at university, and I was
Have
talking
fun.
Honestly, it was always my dream job, and now I'm like, I was talking to another professor, and they were saying that this has, like, in their opinion, has ruined the university, ruined it. People are coming in without the ability to retain anything that they read. They don't actually write anything, which is one of the key ways that you actually build knowledge to try to explain it yourself. So this professor was saying that like some students really get the AI problem and are dedicated to not using it, but it's a small minority. For the most part, it has ruined the institution of the university.
that's
neat.
sickening.
Yeah.
Like
cool. Good time to start being a prof, eh?
Yeah, great time. Well, and this is kind of like the importance of, I'm like, don't mean to sound too debate bro-y here, but that is the importance of debate in the discussion of ideas, right? Is that you just read this thing, right? And now you're going to relay it to this other person who maybe doesn't know about it, or maybe knows about it and doesn't agree with it. And you processing that through this discussion deepens your understanding of it, and allows you to retain that information and that knowledge in a way just reading it wouldn't do. But I feel like people largely aren't doing that anymore. They're like, I don't think people are discussing ideas, as nerdy as that sounds, like, because the idea of discussing ideas has kind of been ruined by MAGA and the intellectual dark web, which is kind of a bit of an older term now. It's going back about 6 to 10 years, but like that whole wave of anti-intellectualism presenting itself as intellectualism really muddied those waters, because it's like, no, debate isn't about deep, like getting a deeper understanding of something and revealing a deeper truth or coming to a greater conclusion. It's about owning the libs, like that became the name of the game. And
their debate is like, no, you.
And by the way, everyone here is a leftist. We love owning the libs.
Yes, exactly. Through saying things like, this is why your economic strategies don't work, and like what we've been discussing on this entire show. Not we're owning the libs because you're gay.
We're even gay, okay?
I will get gayer by every second that we interact. It's like the issue is that people aren't debating in order to learn. To change their minds, right? Like if I go into a discussion, because I'd rather call it discussion. If I go into discussion, we are exchanging ideas, and for me, it is more important to me to understand the issue than to win, because winning is fake. There's no point.
Like the only real winning is expanding your understanding. And it's like people like I remember it's kind of going back to an old TED Talk. I know the history of TED Talks is spotty because there's been some horrible ones over the years, but one of the good ones that always stuck in my brain was this woman talking about how it's okay to be wrong. And how we kind of lost this idea where, like, she gave examples like, when teacher hands the tests back and kids are like, what'd you get? Getting the F, getting the D was a little bit like shameful, right? Like nobody wants to reveal that. Nobody wants to be the wrong one. Nobody wants to be seen as the dumb kid. Nobody wants to be seen as the person who didn't know this in a room full of people that did. And there's this sort of like shame and embarrassment now. And instead of, embracing that and just like learning to accept it and move forward and be better, we now go just like stomp our feet, right? And go, no, you're wrong. Which is highly anti-intellectual, right?
And that's the thing, is that like there is a difference between knowing your stuff and being confident, but then being so open-minded that your fucking brains fall out. Like you can go into a discussion with the full understanding that you are on the right, or like that you are correct. For instance, it's not up to debate whether trans people exist and deserve to exist. That's just a fact. And so like you won't change my mind because there's
like, what are we going to debate? Whether the moon exists or not? Like,
exactly, right? And so like if it's a topic such as, this is the way that we should be doing things, then there could be some back and forth. Like, I want to dig a hole. What's the best way to dig a hole? Well, maybe we can do it this way, this way, this way. But if it's whether like, what's the best way to have a society? Oh, it's by killing all the poor people.
The far more productive and interesting way when you're talking about a subject like trans rights is, deconstructing concepts of gender. And like, how do we navigate that in 2026, and how do we like embrace that? How do we understand it on a deeper level? How do we make society more accommodating to that? Those are good debates, not no, you're not real and you don't exist and I hate you. Like
what is the function of gender in this social construct? Like,
that's
we don't even get
deeply
there, right?
interesting discussion that can be had, but largely on the internet, that's not what's happening.
Good luck.
Exactly.
Jump on a TikTok panel and bring that up, see what happens.
Exactly. And how brazen people are to just be openly disgusting is also kind of like part of that too. But I know Sean's excited for the next topic.
Am I, man?
You read all of this. I haven't. I got to like
thing?
skim it a little bit. Here we go.
This
Carney's new big strategy. Last week it was the AI for all. This week, and like we just broke down how dystopian all of that sounds while he's trying to dress it up very flowery. We got this little spiel here.
This is so tough.
The National Food Security Strategy, which was just dropped.
This is like 2 hours
the
ago.
date right there, June 11th, 2026.
Hot off the press, guys.
Yeah, more choice, more
Rough
control.
Report exclusive.
More Canada.
Stop saying more Canada. You're not nationalizing shit.
Yeah, exactly. How is it more Canada when it doesn't actually belong to Canada?
This has all of my favorite Liberal Party things.
Oh yeah,
it's the best. We are evaporating billions of dollars to achieve absolutely nothing. It includes a deep analysis of the genuine structure of the problem, and then a solution that, like in its own words, makes it worse. It's the best.
Like from what I just like skimmed initially from this, like we'll allow you to kind of like get into it and break it down further, but like even right from like the first page here, how it describes this is just like pure. I like, who fucking wrote this? Okay, like Canada's
AI
food security. It could have been. It could have been.
This was Claude.
Because the way this reads is just
don't name it. Don't name
it.
All AI. They're one thing. Stop giving them names.
Food security will be based on our ability to build a system where food is more affordable, where we reduce our dependence on other countries, and where we are less affected by external circumstances. Okay, first of all, like, I think every country on Earth depends on trade with other countries for food. That's just a reality.
The only reason it's even vaguely affordable at all is because of the system that the neoliberals set up, where we explicitly buy food from other places outside of the imperial core. That's the whole. They built this. This is anyway. So this whole thing is ostensibly about making food more affordable in Canada. I don't even need to go any further for you to know that that's not what this is going to do. But
exactly.
He correctly points out both.
As soon as they say something like, more choice, more control, more Canada, you can go nope, and nope.
Wrong.
It's totally wrong.
So he gave this analysis in his speech. It's in the document too, where he correctly points out that food is so expensive in Canada for a variety of reasons.
Like he correctly pointed out all the problems in Davros, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, but the primary reason is that every part of the supply chain of food is heavily monopolized. In a lot of cases, the people at the end of the chain, so the grocery stores, are not only monopolized, they've owned and monopolized the rest of the supply chain too.
Yeah.
And then what he says is, okay, so for that reason, we're going to take billions in public dollars and invest it into them again. So
those same people that are already monopolizing.
Bread price fixing.
Like, and like the fact that like, from as far as I've seen in any of this, it doesn't get into a lot of nitty gritty in how they actually plan to do this.
I can translate business speak a little bit.
Yeah. It's all kind of dressed up in the flowery language, right?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite parts. So in the speech, Carney particularly emphasized that through the whole supply chain, one of his biggest problems is wholesalers. So he was saying there aren't enough wholesalers. So if there were more of them, they would have to compete more and they would like help on price. But then in the document, it breaks down for every dollar that you spend on food, where does it go between farming, processing, wholesaling, transport, retail, and energy and utilities? And only 9% of it goes to wholesale. So we're dealing with a tiny part of the problem. But what he's saying is we should invest, again, billions with a fucking B of public money into somehow creating more wholesalers, not ones that we own or have any equity in, but put more money into the market to like even it up or whatever.
Like basically prop up the money so a private entity can eat the profits.
But this, not only that, this is the most liberal shit in the world. Where's the KPI? I forget. I remember it. It was by 2036 or something. So in a fucking decade, the idea is to increase the number of wholesalers there are in Canada by 15%. In a decade. In a fucking decade.
In 10 years.
One of the other things too is he was talking about how, here's another one. Again, this costs billions of dollars. Based on Canada's food guide, this is a KPI. Key performance indicator. Based on Canada's food guide, the domestically produced share of healthy food available to Canadians will increase from 75% to 85% by 2032, guys. This is how we revolutionize food costs.
We're revolutionizing food.
That's how you get it done. 1% a year for a decade, baby. This is I have two other KPIs that like really warm my heart. One is he wants to increase the funding to the Competition Bureau so they can hear more cases about unfair business practices. Get this. Let's see. Yes, a 10% increase in the number of Competition Bureau investigations open per year, resulting in $350 million per year in consumer savings. Let me remind you that there are 35 million people in Canada. That's $10 each.
I was just about to say I'll get my $20 bread price fixing.
$10.
Perfect.
Thanks, boss. Really appreciate that one. And then the final KPI, and there is a reason that it's the final one. It's the last line of page 27. Very quickly in the speech, he mentioned we need to get out of our own way. There's too much red tape. It takes too long to get things approved, particularly in pesticides. And then he kind of moved on. In the document, eliminate the Pesticides Regulatory Directorate approval backlog by the end of 2026.
Fuck.
Love it, man, dude. Hell yeah. You know what?
Okay, so you know what it means when, like, you know, just to break it down in plain English for some folks, perhaps to break down red tape and a backlog like this. What that actually means in practice is just to let them do whatever the fuck they want, whether it is poisonous or not.
There's another part of the document where it explicitly says that we're going to invest billions in public money into greenhouses and farming equipment that we won't own. We're paying for it for private companies to own it. And he was saying we need more like indoor farming so that in the Canadian winter we can, which is a good idea, but it explicitly says to help out these companies, the goal of the Liberal government is for indoor farming to reduce the labor cost by 20% in the next 10 years.
These companies that made billions of dollars during a global pandemic, mind you.
But this is why, like, again, the Canadian society, particularly the government, is dependent on amnesia because people will not read this, will not understand this, and a decade from now, food will be more expensive and more monopolized, but we will pay for it, and nothing will happen, and we'll all look back on that like, oh, what fucking happened to food?
We just have we have 15% more privatized companies, and it will cost us billions of dollars to do that.
Meanwhile,
awesome.
If you look at this supply chain, see how many parts there are. The obvious problem is that it's all private, and every single person along this whole chain has to take a 20 to 30 point margin.
No,
that's the problem. If we
it's obvious.
Capitalism
just owned the stuff that we make, then this wouldn't. Anyway,
that's the thing. I want it more Canada. I want it more Canada.
But this is what drives me crazy.
If we're going to have like a sense of nationalist pride in something, wouldn't it be great if it actually, I don't know, belonged to the nation?
Oh my God. But what drives me crazy about Mark Carney is in all these speeches, the first half, I literally feel like I'm listening to Frantz Fanon. It's like, oh, are we talking about anti-colonialism here? And then flip it around. You know what the answer is? Neoliberalism.
As always, the thing we've been doing for 40 years that has been working out so great.
It is working out for us.
As always, the saying goes, the system is working exactly as intended. You think the system is bad, it's doing exactly what they want it to do. I love just like these sort of, because they put all the stats and everything, like all the hard-hitting lines, as you say, right at the end of the paper.
Because they know nobody's going to read that far.
And nobody's going to read that. They're going to read this, and this is what, and like, probably get like this sort of PR statement, I guess is a way of putting it. But like right here on the first page really gets me, because as you say, it kind of sounds like he's really saying progressive things, but then what's the answer to this problem? Farmers need, like, first we need more choice. Okay, what does he do? Oh, everybody says we need more choice. What does that actually mean? Farmers need more places to sell their products. Smaller independent grocers need more places to source product for their stores so that they can compete with large retailers. Consumers need more affordable choices when they shop, and people in rural, remote, and northern communities need better access to fresh produce at reasonable prices. Yeah, that sounds all pretty good. Like, I mean, thank you for saying the thing that every average person has been saying for decades, but whatever. Okay, I guess. Second, we need more control. And again, like, control sounds potentially very good, like a nationalist, publicly owned sort of thing. We control it. No, we need to reduce our dependence on other countries by processing more of the food we grow and use new technologies to grow the foods we cannot currently grow.
AI is going to grow the food.
The data centers are going to start sprouting.
Farming.
Farmers need more control by having access to the crop input products they need for productivity and the ability to have greater control of transferring their farms to the next generation. And what I love about this bullet point 3 is just saying we need bullet point 1 and 2. Yeah. And that somehow equals more Canada. It's such vague, fluffy language that for most people who are not vehemently opposed to liberals already are going to read that and go, okay, he's doing his job. He's doing his job, right? Yeah. This is good. This sounds good. And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And I highly encourage people to not do that. Again, I know we're all intellectually very lazy using AI and all this horse shit and can't retain anything for more than 5 seconds. But, you know,
I wish I couldn't, to be honest.
Yeah. I think we've said it on the show and in private chats multiple times. Being dumb sounds like it fucking rocks.
I would do anything.
Yeah.
I would do anything.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? All the people making jokes about at the end of The Boys, the character Sister Sage, who had a superpowered brain. She lost her superpowers and was like, "Oh my God, it's quiet.
I'm free.
I'm free. Yeah,
I'm free."
And then like everybody who has ADD was like making a meme of it, and they're like, "This is what it's like when you get Adderall."
I have to like drink and stuff to stop the thoughts.
Imagine loving Pierre Polyev. It must be great.
Yeah,
it must
be
great.
To think that this guy is your guy.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Oh man, it'd be awesome, dude.
Man of the people.
It's incredible. So now we gotta get to the main part of the story, which is probably going to take up about the next several minutes. But of course, getting outside of Canada here. But of course, this is going to affect Canadians because it's such a large amount of fucking money.
Speaking of man of the people,
the true man of the people. Let's get it pulled up here. Well, I'll do like the Google overview thing here because it shows the graph and the numbers.
I'm a numbers guy.
Just today, SpaceX completed the largest initial public offering IPO in history, raising $75 billion and listing its shares on the NASDAQ. The shares were priced at $135 each, launching the company to a massive valuation and making Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. And then already, as they said, when it launched, it was at $135 each. But then according to this, it's already like, I don't know
Can
how
they
that's
sell
possible.
right away? That's what I would do. I'd be like, sell.
Yeah, no, as soon as it's on the market, you can sell. But what
Well,
the fuck?
see, that's the thing. That's part of like, and why I wanted to get into why this entire thing is a giant scam. Like, oh, what's so bad about an IPO? Companies go public all the time.
It's a theft.
And yeah, it is absolute
heist.
theft. It is deception of like, and basically a lot of the people who are investing in Elon Musk know this is a deception, but when you look at that chart and these numbers and how much it's grown in just one day, they're happy with it because they're getting their fucking money. And basically, to kind of break it down, the story begins, you could say, at the acquisition of Twitter. He purchased Twitter for $44 billion and had some investors give him that money to make that possible. And essentially, overnight, eliminated half the company's value just by pure virtue of being Elon Musk. So destroyed Twitter's value of advertisers just jumping ship, users jumping ship, shrunk the company's value. Like, mind you, it was probably purchased at a very inflated value, but nonetheless, it sunk down to $22 billion from that 44 in no time. So for all those people that invested in Elon Musk and his brilliant ideas, they're going to need a return on that money. Otherwise, they're going to be really upset and not give him more money in the future. The problem with capitalism is that you do eventually run out of other people's money. Exactly. So the next thing he does is he merges Twitter with his AI. And that seems like his AI company, AIX, because he's so creative like that. And almost like to the outsider, this sort of makes sense. Grok, Twitter, AI. Of course, these things are going to get married. But really, what the point of it was the speculative value of AIX was much higher than that of Twitter. So when those two companies merge and the value of those original Twitter shareholders, they now have shares in AIX.
Yeah, it was a no cash deal. So they got paid
no
off
cash. Yeah, they got absolutely paid off. That loss of investment turned into a positive investment, not because anything was actually created, not because anything actually grew, not because anything tangible that made the world better in any capacity was offered. It was simply by mashing the two things together so the loss, the losers could absorb the wins from the previous thing. And then, of course, as a result of that, because Elon sucks and he's bad at everything he does, AIX started tanking in value. So
XAI always tanked.
Or XAI.
It has like an inherent value in its assets, but revenue wise, it's never made profit. Never.
Yeah. So how do you keep paying your investors Ponzi scheme style? Well, you merge it with the next bigger company that you have, SpaceX.
Which is a real company.
Which is a real company that is already that is worth tons of money because your American tax dollars paid for it to be a very valuable company. He's basically a very fancy looking government contractor. And so now that happened, how do you balloon that value pretty much overnight and let your investors run off like bandits, and everybody's happy, and everyone is going to continue to pretend that Elon Musk is a super fucking genius? And, you do an initial public offering. But there was a couple things about this public offering that were highly unusual compared to pretty much every other public offering that's been done. And so I ask you, Sean, What made this public offering so unusual?
Oh man, this is a heist. This is a theft. This is like, if the Americans don't like revolt over this, there's nothing.
The problem is Americans, I think, largely don't understand what's happening.
Well, they're about to. They're about to.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be hard to not feel this one. So the two key things here are how IPOs normally work, and then what index funds are. So an index fund is, I'm sure most people know this, but I'll just quickly go through it. So an index fund is a fund where rather than buying individual stocks, you just buy the fund, and then the fund is indexed against some other group of things. So the most common ones are the ones that invest in the whole stock market. So you put your money in, it buys everything else in equal proportion.
And that's what they call the retail market, right?
Yeah. So retail versus institutional is retail is like you can go to your bank and do this. Institutional is like BlackRock and all the big ones.
Yeah.
So the key thing with these index funds is the way they work legally and mathematically is whatever they say their index math is, they have to do that. So if they say we buy everything in the stock market, these 500 shares, whatever, in equal proportion to their value, then they must do that. So one of the things that they had in order to protect people from something unpredictable and volatile hitting the market and everyone putting their money in it is a thing called a seasoning period. So when you do your IPO and you join the market, normally it would be between 90 days and a year of profit. You have to be profitable before you're added to one of these indexes. But Elon lobbied the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ to compete for the SpaceX IPO. And one of his key things was whichever one of you is willing to waive that, we'll go with. So the NASDAQ.
So and let me ask you now, these like the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange competing like this with each other, is that usual?
Yeah, but not at this scale. But the reason it's not at this scale is most companies don't IPO at $1.7 trillion.
Yeah. And now, like that, given that $1.7 trillion, does that number even on its own make sense?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens when the seasoning period ends, which by the way is now not 90 days, but 15. Not a year, but 15. So 15 days from today was the IPO. All of those index funds, which by the way is how most people's 401ks, RRSPs, retirement funds, mutual funds, group benefit plans, all that is all in those kind of funds. 15 days from now, they will be legally required to buy SpaceX. Legally required. So there's like a demand wall coming where just like a pile of money is going to be forced into SpaceX.
Yeah, like for the average folks that have already gone to their bank to make these types of retail level investments, money that
or your work benefit plan, which you can't get out of.
Exactly. Yeah. So that have already invested their money in with these banks, and the bank saying, trust us, we're going to grow your investment based on spreading your money all throughout these companies on the stock market, are going to automatically buy SpaceX stock.
Correct. Now, there's two other parts that matter. So there's a pile of public money is going to go into this. And by public, I don't mean government. I mean people's personal investment funds. The valuation is absurd. It's absurd. So when Facebook IPO'd, they IPO'd at a revenue multiplier of 10, meaning the value of the company is 10 times how much money they earn. So roughly speaking, 10 years worth of revenue is what it's worth. As of right now, SpaceX's revenue multiplier is a record shattering 94x. 94 years of revenue are built into this value.
I remember when we were initially talking, it was something like 56.
Yeah, it's 90 as of like the current data, like right now live is 94. 94.
That's obnoxious.
And that's before this wall of money hits it 15 days from now. The other two things that they did that are kind of interesting is normally when you IPO, a company will offer like, let's say 10% of its available shares for sale. And then over time, they might do additional releases. But instead of 10, they did 5% to heavily restrict the supply and drive up the price. Then the other thing that they normally do is 90% is available to institutional buyers and about 10% is available to retail. But they flipped that to 70-30. So highly restricted supply, artificially inflated demand, and more of it available to the small guys than the big guys. So what's going to happen now? Imagine you currently hold, let's say, $1 billion in SpaceX that until now was worth like not very much because you hold it privately. 15 days from now, that price most likely, unless something really weird happens, is going to absolutely fucking skyrocket. And all the people who held SpaceX when it was private, so Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and all of his backers, will cash out. But it'll be a direct wealth transfer from normal people's retirement funds and group benefit plans and mutual funds. It'll be a direct transfer of their money into SpaceX, and then those guys will take the money and fuck off. It's a heist. This is theft.
So so like when they take that investment money and fuck off, what happens to the money that the lowly person invested in that bank?
Like it's directly into the pocket of guys that now own the shares.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if I had like $1,000 in at the bank, all right.
Yeah.
And like, whatever percentage of that was going to SpaceX, that percentage would disappear out of my investments.
Well, but indirectly. So what it'd be is like, let's say you've got $1,000 in there, $100 goes into SpaceX. So you now own a SpaceX share. And right after you do that, or in doing that, it'll become worth way more, right? So as soon as it does that, the insiders will sell like everything they have.
Yeah. And when a mass sale happens like that, it'll tank.
Yeah, it'll tank. It'll absolutely tank.
And
so
you're
buying at the bottom. You are legally forced to buy it at the bottom, and they will sell it at the top.
Socialism for me, but not for thee.
Yeah. So your $100 is gone.
Cool.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Cool. Yeah. And what's really cool about it too is, again, it's only 5% of the company that's public. So they're going to steal this money from everyone else, it, and then they still own 95% of the company.
Neat.
Wow, they thought of everything.
They really did. So this is why, like, obviously, this is a little.
Well, you don't really have to
understand.
Think, like you don't have to be a super genius if you're sitting on so much power and wealth that you're just like, change the rules for me so I get more money.
Yeah.
And
but
then they go, okay. And then you get more money, and then everybody goes, wow, he's a super genius. Look at that thing he did.
Yes.
It's just fucking brute power.
It is.
It's not
it's
genius.
It's like if 2008 was one guy.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like it's showing that they're now at the point, and I guess they're not necessarily wrong. They think they can get away with anything. They're pretty sure that there's not going to be any significant public blowback. There might be some noise in the media, a couple protests here and there, but they clearly don't think anyone is going to do anything serious.
Like I hate to sound cynical, but there's probably a certain amount of truth to that.
No.
And because I haven't seen anybody talking about this. Even like all the commies and leftists that I follow on across various social media platforms.
Yeah.
I have seen very little talk about this.
This is the problem with finance stuff is it is so fucking boring, but sometimes it really matters. Sometimes it really matters a lot. And this is one of those times.
Yeah. You don't have to be a math nerd or some shit like that to find this interesting, because I'm certainly not. I do find how robber barons are robbing to be pretty interesting, though.
Yes.
And I feel like the average person should as well.
Yeah. It's hard to make people care.
And even when it's directly affecting them, because you have all these people going, food is expensive. This is a topic that directly is impacting them on a regular basis. And this still is not enough to make them go, there's something wrong with this system, isn't there?
It takes time for these things to affect them, right? So it's like the thing happens and then however much, and then their groceries, so they can't see the correlation. They don't link them together.
Like a lot of your like petty bourgeoisie, like, you know, especially in the United States, like, you know, the type of people that traveled great distances to be at January 6th, you know, those type of people where like, you know, a lot of them were working class, sure, but they were like the upper working class, a more comfortable working class. And these are like, a lot of them are Republicans, right? And so when you have that type of person who is so in league with the corporate masters, how do I like when you have them so in league with each other like that, and they see their problems as the same problems,
temporary embarrassed billionaires.
But they get to play this card, like, since they're working class, they're like, oh, things are getting so expensive. Oh, the price of gas. Buddy, you're still driving that gigantic Ford F-150 through your suburban fucking neighborhood. Don't you dare look into the windows of my fucking soul and tell me that gas prices are crushing you when that is your vehicle of choice, not a vehicle of necessity, not a vehicle of your job. You just like big truck. So I find it really hard to swallow that a lot of these MAGA people going, oh, it's too expensive, it's too expensive, it's too expensive. The solution is, I don't know, making Elon Musk a trillionaire. Like, do people who are not Republicans in our working class see the disparity there? I don't think they do. I think a lot of them are just like kind of aloof. Is that the word? Apathetic? Even though, again, it's impacting them. And that's the funny thing. It's impacting them, but they don't feel like they have the strength, confidence, and resolve to say something about it. Meanwhile, petty bourgeoisie, they have all the confidence in the fucking world, right? So they can stand up there and say, I, as a proud working man, and being trampled by the system, even though I'm still affording everything perfectly. I'm just, you know, I don't have as much money in the bank account as the end of the month, even though I still have money, let alone all those other people who are just strenuously living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the confidence and strength and resolve to stand up for themselves.
I just want to say, I've never seen a protest of a bunch of fucking leftists taking over Ottawa for weeks on end.
Exactly.
You know? Like, I just want to say, like,
exactly. They do not have the money, time, and ability to do that. There is a certain demographic within the working class that does, though, and largely within Marxism, we might call them the petty bourgeoisie.
They're petty. I'll tell you that.
They're petty. That's for sure.
Yeah, in the context of theory, of course, they mean petty as in, like, you know, small.
I know. I mean,
the other problem, though, obviously, is cultural hegemony. I mean, all through the working class, but particularly in the petty bourgeoisie, we really have been socialized to adopt the values of the bourgeoisie. I hear it all the time. You know, people who would really benefit from more social services whining about how too much tax is going to shit like healthcare, and you're like, well, how would you afford it without that?
Yeah You like, and they don't realize they wouldn't, you know, especially from like a Canadian perspective. It's so easy for these Canadians to go, oh, this public system, it's not working. And it's like, but you have never received a medical bill in your fucking life. So what do you mean? Like,
I got pregnant in high school. I would have started as an 18-year-old with a $25,000 medical bill. Yep. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. You'd be paying that off today.
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't have gone to school because I couldn't afford the student loans. I already got debt.
That's right.
Jesus fucking
Christ.
We're
in the cool system.
So what I mean to get at when I say a lot of these, like, people who are working class but not the Ford F-150 drivers, those people, you should have the confidence to say that you're being robbed. Sure, there's going to be a lot of people that are classist as fuck, and they're going to look down on you and say you just want free stuff, because that's the shit that they hear all the time, right? And Yeah, they want free stuff. You know why? Because it's not free. They actually already earned it.
I want what my taxes are paying for.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
No one is talking about free.
Yeah,
no one is talking about free.
None of this stuff is free.
We create the value.
Exactly. The value was created by a worker, distributed by a worker. It got in your hands because of a worker.
It's the other way around.
Yeah,
the people getting the free shit are the people who own the capital.
The people getting the free shit are, as we just quite thoroughly explained, are this fucking guy.
Yeah.
He just became a trillionaire by doing nothing.
1,000 million.
It's that projection thing again, where they're like, "Oh, bosses are taking the risk, though." No, they're fucking not. The workers are.
What risk does he have? What risk does this fucking guy have? There's none. He's getting free money.
There's so much of like the risk thing is really there's so much of like pre-monopoly capital. I mean, like pre-1800 concepts that are still rattling around in people's brains. There's a certain amount of capital after which it is not risky anymore. So like if you have $1 million, you could quite easily become a proletariat again. Yeah. If you have $10 billion, you're at no risk of anything.
Yeah.
Of anything.
Unless, the entire system of everything collapsed.
Yes.
But
which, by the way, is only a risk for them. That's not a risk for us at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually great.
The entire system of everything collapsed. Our lives largely would not change, especially in contrast to how much their lives would change.
Yes.
Hell, they already have their bunkers built for the end of the world. So
yeah.
Can we do like a War of the Worlds thing and trick them into going into their bunkers and lock them in?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We got this.
Yeah, we'll let you know when it's safe to come out.
Yeah, we'll triple knock on the door, buddy.
To what is it? Shave and a haircut. Yeah.
Bury the door. Bury him.
Fuck. So, capitalism and the consolidation of capitalist power and the inherent contradictions that exist within capitalism just became drastically more exasperated in ways we probably didn't think were previously possible. Like in the crash of 2008 was like, this is as bad as it gets, right?
Nope.
It's about to get rough.
Yeah.
Things are sharpening. They're sharpening.
Because I remember 2008 was rough on me. That was the longest period of unemployment I ever experienced. And I was applying for everything. I was willing to take any shit fucking job. But
that was in 2002.
Almost an entire year, I could not get one.
Yeah.
Get like putting in resumes fucking everywhere. And I went, I think almost 8 months with like zero employment.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for employment insurance at the time. But I couldn't get a job at fucking Walmart. Nobody was hiring. Nobody. So yeah, if that was what it was like then, staring down the barrel of what we're looking at now between what just happened with SpaceX, what's going on with the AI, how heavily fucking Carney is trying to invest in this, because at the end of the day, he's just a skeezy capitalist banker like the fucking rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
We just happened to put him in a government office. This is where we're at.
I just looked this number up because I knew it was bad, but forgot the exact number. Canada's youth unemployment, so between the ages of 15 and 24, is at 13%.
Fuck.
But get this, so that's from 15 to 24. If you look at from 15 to 19, it's 20%.
Oh,
1 in 5 teenagers is looking for work and unable to find it.
Yeah. Because, like a big portion of that is, people that should be able to retire are getting retirement jobs. And a lot of those retirement jobs are the sort of jobs that teenagers would be entering the workforce with.
Yes.
Yeah, and businesses like Tim Hortons abuse the temporary foreign worker program to bring in folks that they can underpay. This isn't anti-immigration. This is anti-abusing immigrants to pay them below minimum wage illegally. Under a
because
program.
Like from a front-facing sort of thing, you could walk into a Tim Hortons in Toronto and see a lot of Indian people behind the counter, like East Indian, and at a certain face value, if you're pro immigration, as you should be, you would say, "Oh, isn't this nice? You know, we got these new Canadians, we got them jobs. Look at us go." And then, I would bet that the average person has no idea that temporary foreign worker program.
It's that projection again. They're like, immigrants are taking our jobs, and not Tim Hortons is giving all of our jobs away.
And literally, this whole thing about the temporary foreign worker program being so easy to abuse is because of Stephen Harper and his conservative government. He's the one who changed the rules to the way it is today. And of course, Carney being the right-wing fuck that he is, despite not having a majority, and he could easily change how those rules function, he is simply not going to.
Not going to. So in one of my last jobs, I managed a huge team, like hundreds of people, and the vast majority of them were young Indian students who had just come to Canada. And from them, I heard all these stories. There are articles about this, but they're few and far between, where it's not just the wages and the conditions that's a struggle for them. A lot of them will end up at these places where they end up in this arrangement where they're living arrangements. So they'll end up working at a place like a Tim Hortons, but they'll be forced to rent an apartment from the person who owns the Tim Hortons. And on paper, their wage will be whatever amount was the legal amount that you have to get.
Exactly.
So, I was going to say that you're addressing.
So legally they can't be paid less than the prevailing wage for the region. However, what a lot of these landlords will do is they'll technically on paper pay them that amount, but they'll set up a background contract where they have to live in the place that they also own, and then they'll take the vast majority of that wage in the form of the rent. And there's a few other abuses like that, which is why it was a few years ago. The United Nations wrote a report that referred to the Canadian Temporary Foreign Worker Plan as a modern form of slavery, is what the United Nations called it. Right?
So thank you for correcting me. So one shot. Sometimes I'm wrong, and so I got those particular details wrong. And so this is what a conversation and debate should be about, to get more information so you can start to be right.
Well, and also, if you guys ever worked for any of those jobs, I would not be surprised if they're lying on the paperwork and still paying them less, just straight up.
Oh,
I used to work those jobs. You don't get breaks, you don't get nothing, but they will write down that they trained you.
Lying to them about what their rights are.
Well, the other thing too that a lot of these unscrupulous small business owners will do is that they will sell LMIAs. So labor market impact analysis is the thing you have to do for the government to allow you to hire a foreign worker. You have to essentially, prove that you couldn't find a Canadian to do the job. You don't actually have to prove that, but you get the LMIA. And then what a lot of these companies will do is they'll advertise abroad, come to Canada, $25,000. So the family will put all this money together and they'll sell the LMIA for you to come to Canada and to have half your wage stolen and to have to live in the place that's rented out by the person who's employed you.
There's all sorts of ways they can get taken advantage of, like unpaid overtime.
Because what are you going to do if you're broke?
But unfortunately, the reactionary right wing in Canada, they use this to get people to blame the young immigrants and not the business owners that are doing this horrendous abuse.
I remember going back to this was, how many years ago did I originally read that book? Shock Doctrine.
I got it right there.
And talking about something similar. in terms of how they were abusing workers. Sorry, Sean, what did you just say a moment ago there?
Oh, the reactionary right wing will look at this picture and they'll use it to get people to blame not the business owners that use the structure, but the immigrants that are abused by it.
In that book, they were talking about a guy in the South who owned like one of the largest like chicken processing plants, and he had this like the cowboy aesthetic, and he just talked like a good old Southern boy, I'm just trying to run an honest business, but like these immigrants, they're taking your jobs. And meanwhile, he's the one who was he was caught like literally smuggling truckloads of guys in from Mexico to work in his plant while pointing over and going, it's the immigrants stealing your jobs. And he was literally illegally trucking these guys in while blaming them.
And by the way, just to put another like human element on it, I doubt there's any right-wing reactionaries watching this, but from me having met like hundreds of these students that came over, you got to understand from their perspective, what they were sold when they were over there is, I'm coming to the West. I'm going to be a university student in Canada. And then you get here and you go to a diploma mill and you work at Tim Hortons. So they are highly disappointed, and a lot of them feel stuck and like unable to can't even afford a plane ticket back home. What am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I wish we there's got to be some way to give those people more of a voice, because obviously they're not being heard, or maybe they're scared of being heard. You don't want to be the newly arrived immigrant trying to make your way here going, damn, this place fucking sucks, y'all. Nobody wants to be that immigrant, right?
In this case, it depends on where you come from. So if you're from a place like Kerala, which for a lot of Kerala's history is actually run by a communist party, they have a very strong sense of labor rights, but there's other parts where they don't, right?
Yeah. And what is it? You always hear like the anti-immigrant reactionaries talking about, well, if it sucks so bad here, why do people still want to come? And obviously, just based on what we discussed there, the answer is because we fucking lie to them.
Because we lie.
We literally lie.
We lie to them.
We lie, but also we destabilize our region. We cause climate catastrophes in their countries.
We pump out a lot of propaganda about how great the West is. So we don't only lie to get them here, we fuck up their situation there.
Correct.
I feel like because when people talk about like movies propaganda, like that type of pop culture propaganda, a lot of the time I'm like, I feel like that's not for us. It's not for the domestic market to be propagandized.
We know it sucks here.
We know it sucks here. It's for the rest of the world to watch Tom Cruise and Top Gun and go, the West is cool, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Exactly. Like, look what they can do with movies. Just imagine how they live. Because it's like, day-to-day life in, say, like Turkey probably isn't much different than day-to-day life for the average working American or Canadian in terms of just your quality of life, right? But have you ever seen a Turkish movie?
No.
It's not exactly their bag. Let's put it that way. It's kind of like, even to throw Canadians under the bus here, compare average Canadian television with American television. There's a disparity there.
we're not quite as good at like the explosions and bikinis and like
exactly. All right, like our TV shows most of the time in comparison to American ones are how you might say quaint.
Shot in a parking lot, you might say.
Exactly.
Or a trailer park, mayhaps.
And clearly in a parking lot.
Well, I knew this show was going to run a little long just because the range of topics that we had, but damn, we really almost filled out 2 hours there. And let's the SpaceX IPO just happened today. 2 weeks from now, 15 days.
Breaking news. You didn't
yeah.
15 trading days.
Yeah. And then 15 days from now, it's going to open up to that, regular Joe Schmo market, you could say. And we're going to see what that's going to look like in a couple of weeks, I guess. But yeah. Sorry. I wanted to get your one last thing up there. Temporary foreign workers are so the most valuable in Canada. Human trafficking is also a huge issue. Wage slavery is an issue in some cases. I mean, I would say, in a manner of speaking, most of us are wage slaves. Like most of us, for the wages we are currently being paid for the regular jobs that we work, is already a form of de facto slavery. And if that's hyperbolic, well, wait till you see what it looks like for people who are maybe just slightly below average.
And then on top of that, the wages on top of the inflation of the housing and the food and the gas and the yada yada.
Well, these are kind of the same thing, right?
Like, no, sure. I'm just it's coming from all sides.
All well and good to raise the minimum wage. Oh, great, we raise the minimum wage. But if a landlord can turn around and raise your rent by just as much as your raise was in that minimum or more, they're effectively the ones getting paid, not you.
And the landlord's not talking to the grocery store people or the electric people. So when all that goes up all at the same time, now you're actually having less.
It's almost like wages tend towards the means of subsistence.
Yes.
What?
I feel like somebody wrote that at some point.
Good line. You should, you should write that down. You might have some cooking there.
My pen is on fire.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much once again, Sean, for joining us. Maybe in a couple weeks when we see how shit hits the fan, we'll have you back on and see how it goes.
I hope I'm not needed for that.
15 days.
Thanks everybody for watching the Rough Report. Like, share, subscribe, suggest us, talk about us, send me sweet messages with kisses. No, don't do that. Actually, that's weird. Until then, we'll see you next week. Stay rough. I'm gonna have a cigarette and try and not think that the world is falling apart.
Because it isn't blowing up to die.
I'm gonna start learning how to prep.
Yeah, I was literally joking around with coworkers before I left work the other day. I was like, talk about how bad the world is, and I'm like, I'm thinking about getting my pew-pew license.
Man, I was saying that.
I think
I can show you guys how to do that.
Sean has that. Sean has that. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly has that. Yeah.
I also know how to garden.
That's good.
God bless.
Yeah. That's everybody wants to be Mr. Pew Pew Man or the head of office, but we do need gardeners. Very important. Very important. All right. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one.